All right, we've been doing a lot of stuff with inversions, taking chords and inverting them, looking at our major chords and looking at all the inversions that are possible for those major and minor chords. We're going to look at another way to play chords that's not just playing the chord, and that's arpeggios. So let's stick with our idea of using the blessing for our template as to how we're going to go through our chords. We'll go ahead and do it in the key of A, which was the key that we originally learned the blessing in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take both my hands and play an A major chord in root position. So I've got A, C sharp, E in my left hand and A, C sharp, E in my right hand. And now an arpeggio, what an arpeggio is it's playing a chord, in this case A major, but rather than play all the notes at once, you play the notes one at a time. That would be an A major arpeggio. And what we're going to do in this exercise is we're going to go left hand, right hand, then we're going to bring our left hand over, and then we'll play the top note with our right hand. Then we'll go to the 4 chord, because that's the next chord in the progression. So that'll be D. Then we'll go back to the 1 chord, A. To the 5 chord, E. To the minor 6, F sharp minor. To the 4. To the 1. To the 5. Back to the 1. And that is something that you can try in all of the keys that we have done this song. You can also decide that you want to do it for more than just the 4 octaves that I was doing. You could go the entire span of the keyboard. You could also come back down to the 4. Back to the 1. Now obviously I'm not really keeping a very steady beat here, but we're just going through kind of and making sure that we've got all of the fingerings and all the notes that we want. All right, now I'm going to go to F sharp minor. And then maybe I'll come down on the 5, since the 1 and the 5 are short in this last time. These last 2 chords, they do short. So I'll do the 5 down. I did the 1 up, and then end on A. All right, so I was using the pedal on this, and that is because when you're playing, and every time I changed chords, I would lift up and refresh the pedal. But obviously, if all of the notes I'm playing are part of the A major chord, well, they're all gonna sound good together. So if you let them all ring together, that's gonna be fine. So I'm leaving my pedal down for all of that. But those notes that are in the A chord are not going to fit as well with the 5 chord, for example, when I go to the E. So I'm going to make sure that I lift up the pedal to dampen all those notes, and then I can press it and hold the pedal and let all of these notes ring together, because all of these notes are part of an E major chord and they all sound good together. But then when I move to the F sharp minor, I need to refresh because I don't want all of these notes to, if I never refresh the pedal, then it gets to sound a little bit cloudy and muddy, and it becomes a little too, so you want to refresh every time you change chords, refresh the pedal. But as long as you're on one chord playing notes from that one chord, all those notes are going to fit together, so you can leave the pedal pressed. All right? And you can obviously do that same exercise in all of the keys that we have played the blessing in. And you can do it really for any song. You could pick an entirely new song. If you wanted to do Twinkle, Twinkle, you could do Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, etc., etc. So you could really do this same kind of thing for every song. That was arpeggios. You could also do the inversion exercise. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That was the inversions. So all of these inversions work anytime that you would put in that chord. You want a C chord, well, you can just use an arpeggio for the C chord, or you could use different inversions of the C chord, and you can apply that to really any place where you would put a C chord. All right.